Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be taking a look at the newly released Mercedes-Benz concept electric G-Wagon concept for the future. This is a big deal for Mercedes obviously, so I hope you do enjoy this video. Now before we continue, allow me to declare this video is not financial advice. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes and for educational purposes. Now the G-Class, the G-Wagon is going electric, which is a big deal for Mercedes obviously. So Mercedes-Benz have released an electric concept version of its boxy, luxurious off-roader, the G-Wagon. This vehicle is dotted with a glowing accent and wearing some serious Moon Rover style wheels. Officially known as the Concept EQG, Mercedes-Benz was really light on detail about the electric SUV while showing it off at the 2021 IAA Mobility Show in Munich. It didn't cite the estimate for the range or mention battery size or the power output of the electric motor. It will be all-wheel drive, tough, and it will have a low and high gear. Also, those wheels are 22 inches. So instead, the Concept EQG is right now closer to a design exercise, a first attempt at how Mercedes-Benz may modify the next generation of G-Class or G-Wagons that is first released at the 2018 Detroit Auto Show, and something to gawk at until a production version comes. It's a striking first attempt though. The EQG is clad in the same kind of two-tone paint job that Mercedes used on the first edition of the electric EQS sedan. The illuminated grille the company has been toying with on some other concepts and production vehicles finally does not look out of place. Whenever a production EQG does arrive, it'll join an ever-crowded field of electric vehicles that can handle rough terrain. Now General Motors revived the Hummer brand and is making two all-electric versions of it, an SUV and a pickup truck. EV startup Rivian is about to launch its first pickup truck, with an SUV coming later this year. Photos even tease that an all-electric version of its newly revived Bronco SUV will eventually hit the roads. Now the G-Wagon has always been as much of a status symbol vehicle as it's been about venturing off-road, though, so the expert production EQG to be loaded with all the same kind of features that Mercedes-Benz have been rolling out in its newest, most expensive vehicles like the EQS sedan. And if Mercedes-Benz can give the EQG the same kind of range and performance that is EQS and EQE sedans are getting on the company's new electric vehicle platform, the electric G-Wagon could be something to behold. So this is obviously really exciting for Mercedes. It's really exciting for everyone who's loved the G-Wagon's design and everything that happens to come with the G-Wagon. And now finally, they will have an electric option in the future for purchasing G-Wagon. And I think this is perfect for the G-Wagon brand, for people who buy the G-Wagon, because there are people who buy the G-Wagon for the big engine, the roar, the aggressiveness, but there's also people who buy the G-Wagon for a big vehicle that's looking cool and luxurious, and at the same time, given that it's an electric vehicle, there's an electric version. The people who want something a bit more quiet, luxurious, but aggressive and simple at the same time, just a little bit of everything in the G-Wagon, they now have multiple options. So naturally this is quite exciting for Mercedes, and at the moment if we have a look at the Daimler AG stocks, and the market cap is actually at 100 billion US dollars. That is the current value of the company, 100 billion dollars. But this is actually quite interesting, not just that Mercedes is taking a new leap into electrification, but that they're doing it on a grand scale. The G-Wagon is one of their most recognizable vehicles, rarest vehicles, expensive vehicles, and they choose to evolve this vehicle into an electric version as soon as possible. This is smart marketing by Mercedes, but it's also smart progression. They're slowly turning some of their most popular vehicles into all electric vehicles. And they're mostly starting with the expensive ones. And that's a good thing. That's really smart, because at the high end, Mercedes makes expensive, luxurious cars. So what are the best electric cars to start with? Is perfect. Start with the expensive electric cars, because those will cater to the Mercedes consumers more than ever. Down the line, as the technology of electric vehicles become more accessible, then Mercedes will naturally venture into cheaper EV vehicles for their brand. Me personally, I've always thought that Mercedes should turn the smart vehicles into fully electric brand. It's very similar to what Geely and Volvo did with Polestar. They took Polestar out of the division of Volvo and they turned it into a fully electric vehicle brand, and I think Mercedes should do that with the smart brand of vehicles. I think it's about time they start to evolve that brand and make it something even bigger to compete in a different type of market, in a cheaper type of market for electric vehicles. I think it would be perfect. And there are electric smart vehicles, and the smart brand does have electric vehicles, but it's not fully electric lineup. It's not a fully electric company. And I think now is the time that they should be doing that with the smart brand. This is of course while they slowly migrate all the most popular Mercedes vehicles towards the electric side of motoring. Now interestingly, the reason why we're talking about the Daimler shares, the Daimler company itself, the Mercedes company it is because I figured out something really substantial, something really amazing quite lately. You see, the Daimler name, the Daimler brand actually owns Mercedes. They own Mercedes and all of Mercedes holdings such as AMG. And they also own the smart brand, the smart cars. With all of this, Mercedes being the majority holding, this company is valued at $100 billion. Now Daimler being the parent company is in effect Mercedes themselves. But Daimler is a holding company similar to how Facebook has created Meta to be a holding company, a parent company on top of Facebook, and how Google created Alphabet to be a parent company for Google and all of Google's holdings and all of Google's subsidiaries. It's the same thing that Daimler does for Mercedes. Daimler is Mercedes and Mercedes is Daimler. The reason why I'm emphasizing on this really crucial point is because Mercedes used to own 10% of Tesla. Now some people do know about this, and some people unfortunately don't know that back in 2009, Daimler takes 10% stake in Tesla. They bought 10% worth of Tesla. At the time, Tesla was an extremely undervalued company. And I'm reading from this article from back in 2009. This is a very old article, but there is a point to this. Because Mercedes used to own 10% of Tesla, at a time when Tesla was extremely undervalued. This was in the early days of Tesla when no one cared about Tesla. And majority of people actually thought that Tesla was a failed-in brand and Tesla would never succeed to see the light of day. But history has proven that we can be so wrong when it comes to doubting Elon Musk and Tesla and what he's capable of as a businessman. Now the reason I say this is because Tesla is now a company that's valued at $1.1 trillion US. Now if you're familiar with stocks and shares and you're familiar with Mercedes and Tesla, you probably understand exactly what I'm about to say to you. You see, given the fact that Daimler, Mercedes, used to own 10% of Tesla, they sold that stake in Tesla. They sold their 10% worth of Tesla, and I think they lost money on that investment. The interesting thing, if Mercedes held that 10% worth of Tesla, they would now own over $110 billion worth of Tesla. Basically, their investment in Tesla would be worth more than the actual Mercedes company, because the Mercedes company is only valued at $100 billion, while 10% of Tesla would be valued at over $1.1 billion US, which is worth more than the actual Mercedes brand. And everything put together, including Daimler, including the smart brand, and every subsidiary that Daimler and Mercedes has in their company. That small little 10% will be worth more than Mercedes right now. Are you insane? Are you crazy? Now here's the thing, I haven't seen this being reported in the news, and I can guarantee you someone clever out there will report this. Obviously, I'm reporting it right now, but someone out there will write an article up big time and sold a huge chunk of Tesla when they had no idea that Tesla would be valued over $1 trillion company as of now. And that certainly stings. I can guarantee you Mercedes knows this. They know this. I can guarantee you there's no way that they don't know this. They know, they're fully aware of this, because previously people have made article on what a stupid decision it was for Daimler Mercedes to sell 10% of Tesla because Tesla was valued. This was around the time when Tesla was growing in valuation. Tesla was going up to $100 billion to $200 billion, $400 billion, $600 billion, $700 billion. Tesla was doing great. But when Tesla hit $1.1 trillion, well, no one has discovered yet just how crazy it is that 10% of ownership from Daimler and Mercedes will be worth more than the actual Mercedes company is right now. That's got to be one of the biggest mess up in business investment. $2 trillion company in the future, 3 trillion, 5 trillion, I'm confident in this. And Daimler and Mercedes will always regret the fact that they could have held and own hundreds of billions worth of Tesla. Oh my goodness. Now at the time, the deal provided Daimler with batteries and the know-how needed to bring an electric car to the market at the highest possible speed. Company's officials said in exchange, Tesla gets a big pile of cash and perhaps more importantly, the parts and engineering expertise it needs to build a Model S sedan. So you see, ladies and gents, there's many reasons why Tesla was so successful at building their Model S sedan. They had huge funding from Mercedes to build this vehicle. It was in Mercedes' best interest. So Mercedes was part of the success to building the Model S, but they were also part of the success of saving Tesla by investing millions of dollars into the company at the time. Money that Tesla desperately needed at the time. This is at the time when investors weren't really excited to invest in Tesla. In and around this time, a famous TV show known as Top Gear, I'm sure a lot of people know Top Gear, they made a review of the Tesla Roadster. And this review was extremely controversial, and that's an understatement. It was so controversial to the point where the bad review of the Tesla Roadster at the time actually drove away investors from investing in Tesla. So Tesla had a lot of adversities on their way to success. Between Tesla and the BBC and Top Gear, Tesla basically sued the BBC and Top Gear for their review against the Roadster because they believed that it wasn't a fair review. At the end of the day, Top Gear is a scripted show. It's always been an entertainment show, and it was scripted, and a lot of things in the review, in the videos, was scripted. But the problem is, people, including investors, took the review far too serious. And this was a big problem for Tesla to get any funding for their company. So receiving big amount of money, millions of dollars, from companies such as Mercedes and help with building the Model S sedan was a huge deal for Tesla at the time. Nevertheless, later down the line, Mercedes eventually sold their 10% stake. But naturally, now where we are with Tesla, it's a thriving company, building everything from sedans to SUVs to electric trucks. They're a big company in the energy field in various ways. Tesla is a thriving company, especially in robotics and engineering. Not to mention their self-driving technology, which is basically the best in the world. So yeah, Tesla has come a long way, to say the least, but it's not slowing down anytime soon. And it's a great thing to see, but it's just gonna hurt Daimler and Mercedes even more in the future when Tesla keeps on growing and they realize they lost out on so much money and ownership. But ultimately, on the bright side for Tesla, they're extremely successful now and there's no way of failure given where they are as a company. They are leading the electric field, the electric mobility field. They're leading this field, but they're also leading the field in technology. There's even rumors that Tesla could be working on a mobile phone, which I think is genius. The Tesla software that's in the Tesla vehicles are absolutely incredible. They are beyond any other company. And to be honest, I'm quite proud to see this. And I think this is why Tesla would do well with building and manufacturing mobile phones, laptops, tablets, computers. I think realistically, a company that could compete with Apple in the technological area is seriously Tesla. And it's kind of strange to think that this company is now valued over 1.1 trillion US dollars, but not just that, and they could compete in completely different areas of technology, such as mobile phone technology, laptop technology, software development technology. Tesla is striving far beyond just electric vehicles. And of course, initially this video was about Mercedes, but we just had to touch on Tesla in as much ways as possible. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to see more, leave a like, leave a comment, and of course I will see you in my next